fine.
Gotta make sure you look good, right? All right, all right. Let me start it off. All right, one sec. Today's guest doesn't really need an introduction. Former UFC lightweight champ, future Hall of Famer, and one of the most respected warriors in the game. He's fought everyone. He's seen it all, and he's still standing strong. Rafael Dos Anjos, RDA. Pumped to have you, brother. First off, how's your leg feeling these days?
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the words, for the introduction as well. Yeah, man, it's been a long recovery. Like it's been 5 months so far, but it feels forever to me. But yeah, it's going good. It was I had a ACL replacement and a meniscus repair. Feeling good so far. I'm starting working out. Like doing a lot of leg workouts, and I'm like about 70%. I still have another 3 to 4 months recovered. I'm on that window. Next month, I'm going to Brazil to see the doctor who did the surgery and hopefully be back on the octagon by September, hopefully.
All right, that's great. I love to hear that. I'd love to see you fight again. Is there anyone in specific that we could see you fight, maybe?
As of now, I think game changed so much, especially after like almost a year layoff. But definitely, I would like to face someone that already has a history with, somebody as experienced like me, you know. We'll see, but I don't have nobody in mind. I heard Cerrone would like to come back on the summer.
Ooh, that'd be a
Donald
sick fight.
Cerrone, I heard he's on the pool already for testing and all of that. Trying to clear out his system after all the juice that he's taking. That could be a fight, like we fought twice already, and it would be a good trilogy.
I would 100% love to see that, obviously. I feel like everyone would. But, let's get into it. At this point of your legendary career, do you still itch back to get in the cage, or are you more selective now with who you pick, you feel like?
Sorry, can you say it again, please?
Very good. All right, so at this age, you're already a legend. You don't really need to prove yourself anymore. Do you still itch back to get in the cage, or are you more selective with who you choose to fight?
Yeah, I think at this point, like I have 49 fights, professional fights, and I'm not, I feel that the finish line is much closer to me than the starting line. I still have 4 more fights on my contract. I would like to finish off then, and before I call it a career. But of course, man, I would like to fight guys that more experienced fighters and guys that I had a history before with, like guys like maybe some how do I say, some like rematch and revenge and some guys like that, that's my focus right now. But as of now, man, like I said, game changed so much, and a lot of different guys on the top right now, and we'll see, man. We'll see what the future holds.
You said revenge. Who is someone you would like to get revenge on? I need to know this.
I mean, like, I don't think he's on UFC anymore. Tony Ferguson would be a good fight. I'd love to run it back again with Tony. Who else? Yeah, Cerrone. Those guys. There's some guys that I would like to rematch.
Mm-hmm. That McGregor fight never happened. Would you ever like to run that, maybe?
Oh yeah, there's Conor too. I completely forgot about him. Looks like he wants to find his way back against Chandler. And I heard some Twitter. He tweeted out something like he want to fight Chandler. Of course, a good matchup for him. Chandler is way shorter than him. That's why he want to fight him. But of course, man, a fight with Conor would be huge. He's a guy that he draws a lot of attention. We got a history before in the past. That could be something. But we'll see. Like I heard he's coming back, and all of a sudden, it's been like a couple years that he's trying to fight, and I don't know what's going on. He needs to figure out his personal life and get things straight up. Of course, he doesn't need the money. Money is not an issue. But I'm cheering for the guy. Everybody want to see him back, and we'll see. Maybe on the future, who knows?
Yeah. So talking about the fight with you and Connor, it never happened. But if it did happen, how do you think that fight would have went when you were supposed to fight him?
Oh man, I think like I was on my prime. He wasn't his prime, but I think stylistically, I think I'm a very bad fight for corner, and because I got a good striking, he does so. He's a good striker as well, but I have like got a better ground game, a better takedown game, and at that moment, 2016, I was on fire, man. I was feeling great leading up to that camp. I did a lot of sparring with Lyoto Machida back on the times, and Lyoto was big guy, and I was training hard with him because all that karate stance we want to mimic Connor, and we use Lyoto a lot for that. Great guy though, but I was having good sparring session with Lyoto, and I would have won for sure.
Yeah, I really wish. I'm not really old enough. I'm only 18 years old, but I really wish I could have saw that fight. That would have been amazing to watch.
That would be a
Definitely,
good one. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
definitely a great fight. But so you've had a great UFC journey. If you were to sum it up in a couple words, what would you say about your career?
Yeah, man. Like I'm a type of guy that I think I had probably 10, maybe I think 7 or 10 back-to-back main event. I think it's not about having a lot of fights on the organization, and it's who have you fought on those battles. And I think my level of competition it's been crazy high on the past 10 years, and I've been through like highest level of competition that you can imagine it, fighting former champions, fighting current champions, and and I never, I've asked UFC for good matchups for me, guys that and guys that I thought that I had better chances, guys that had a lot of experience like me, and my answer was always no. My answer was like, hey, you still like you're not on that phase of your career. You're doing great. You can, become a champion. If you win one or two, three fights, you can fight for the title again. So we cannot give you that fight. So, and I'm a type of guy that I'm all game. I'm always ready for a challenge. All the names that UFC gave me, I always say yes. And I think there's no better way to prove yourself, and that's it, man. I'm a fighter. I can't run away from a tough challenger.
Hmm. So we're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to the. We're gonna talk about the start of your career. How old were you when you first got into MMA?
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is my background, and my first fight was back in 2004. I was about 19 years old. I have never put a glove on my hand when I say yes. I was like straight up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, a brown belt, and I got a call and they said they gonna pay me. For me, it was a good money at that time. It was about 200 bucks
Yeah, I
these
have that
days,
down. I have that down.
and they said we're gonna pay you and you're gonna get paid to fight. And okay, I got a call on Wednesday to make weight on Friday and fight on the Saturday, and I did, and I fought, and I lost by decision, but I thought I won. And 2 weeks later, I fought again, and I still had a black eye from my first fight, and then I won, and I kept going because I found a way to get paid and to do what I love.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, my next question was about the $200. Was it true that you only got paid $200? What did that money go towards since it was only your first fight?
Yeah, that money went towards anti-inflammatories, which is I had to take some medicine, and I probably spent like maybe $50 with medicine, painkillers, and all of that. And I remember back in the days, only 19, I want to dress up nice, and I bought a shoe, a nice shoe, and that was it. Money was gone.
I mean, sounds like you did pretty nice with the money. And talking about that in your early ages, was there a specific moment when you realized that you're championship material, or did it just happen over time when you realized?
Yeah, it just happened over time, Like I remember when I met my wife, even before UFC, and she asked me, "What is your dream?" And I said to her, I wanna fight for UFC. That's my dream to join UFC." And she goes, "You're not gonna fight for UFC. You're gonna win the championship. You're gonna be a world champion one day." When she said that, I thought she's kind of crazy. Like she's just trying to, make me, motivate me. But like I started winning a couple fights, and I just went with the flow.
Hmm.
God was guiding me, and I was doing the right things. I was working my ass off, training really hard, moved to United States to train better, to get a better training, and I invest a lot on my career, and that's why I won the belt.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. So, talking about the title and how you ran to the title, winning that title, when you had that title in your hands, I see it behind you. What were the emotions like? What were you feeling?
Yeah, it was like back on the days, like it's been 10 years already. So Anthony Pettis was, the number one guy. He was the number one pound for pound. And one thing that I'm very proud of myself is I see these days people winning belts, fighting, getting interim belts, and not fighting the real champions to get the belt. So I'm very proud of myself. I think the way that the God project my career, because I fought the best and I beat the best to become the best. I think that was. So I beat Anthony Pettis. He was the number one pound for pound at that time, and I beat him pretty convincingly. And it was a moment that it's a unforgettable moment for me.
Yeah. No, I could just imagine holding the championship after what everything you've been through.
Yeah.
Probably felt amazing. And then after you became champ, there's two things that are pretty hard to deal with, but I want to know what was harder for you. Dealing with the new pressure or just staying hungry to win more?
Yeah, like once you have the target in your back, everything changes. But I dealt really good with that. But the thing is that you have to keep grinding even harder because it's hard to get there, but it's hard to keep the belt because you got the target on your back. Everybody wants what you have, and but I think what is much harder is to keep that, to keep what you conquer. I even though as I won the belt, I never lost the hungry. I didn't lose my belt because I lost the hungry. I was always on the gym, always training hard. I lost because I lost. Props to the other guy, to Eddie Alvarez at the time that took the belt from me.
Hmm. I mean, if you're going to lose to someone, Eddie Alvarez is an absolute dog as well. So, might as well go in the cage with another legend, right?
Yeah, of course, man. I think that's part of the life. I made some mistakes, and he capitalized on it. I had I have a lot of problems. I could pull out from that fight. Night before, I passed out trying to make on the morning of the fight. I passed out trying to make weight. It was a very hard cut for me. But like I couldn't. I was the main event of the of the night. I couldn't just pull out. And as a fighter, if you don't have a good head coach, a good manager that can say, "Hey, man, you cannot fight. I'm gonna pull you out of that fight," and then they will have the power to do it. But at the time, I didn't have it. And as a fighter, you want to fight, and that what happened.
Yeah, well, just like you said, you brought up weight cuts. So you fought at lightweight and then you moved to welterweight. How much did those brutal weight cuts mess with your mind and body?
Yeah, man, weight cut is brutal. At that time, for me to keep like making 155 was pretty hard, man. And once I lost the belt, I thought about moving up right away, but I still gave another try, and I lost to Tony Ferguson in Mexico City, and it was a very tough moment on my career. When I announced that I would move up, a lot of people say, "Hey, RD is too small. He's not gonna make it." Bunch of killers at welterweight, and man, guess what? I made it to the top again. I fall short on the on the title fight. Lost to Kobe on by mistake, by a little detail. Leading up to the fifth round, it was like Dana White said, it was 2-2.
Mhm.
So I lost the fifth round and I lost the chance to become double champion. But man, it is what it is. But once I move up to welterweight, back on the days, it gave me a big extra energy. I wasn't too young. I was already like 36, 37.
Mhm.
But I'm happy with my run. It would be great if I had become double champion, but I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't be proud of themselves after such a run like that. You fought greats. Well, talking about greats, actually, who do you feel like the hardest fight that you've fought against was? Who the best fighter you fought against was?
Yeah, I fought against a lot of tough guys, but Usman was pretty tough. Robbie Lawler was pretty tough. Who else? Tony Ferguson, man. At that time, he was coming because people like MMA. Most of MMA fans, they got short memory. They remember people of because of their last performances. So Tony Ferguson, if I'm not wrong, he's coming off 6 or 7 losses.
Yeah, correct.
But when I fought him, he was coming off of 12 wins. He was a killer, man. He was a very hard guy to deal with. And I fought him. I thought he was pretty tough. Kamaru Usman was pretty tough. Robbie Lawler was a beast, and a
What
lot
about
of a lot
Khabib?
of Ben Henderson too, man. Ben Henderson was a killer. I was glad I finished him on the first, but I was ready for war.
What about Khabib, though? You went to decision with one of the best of all time.
Yeah, yeah. It's too many fights. I forgot. Khabib was pretty tough too, man. Couldn't do much with him. Like he's a lot of strength, that grappling, heavy hands. He didn't got a great stand up at that time, but like he keep throwing heavy hands and keep like closing the distance. It was a really tough fight too, man. He was. I mean, I fought with him. Didn't got much damage because I fought like after fighting him, I fought 40 days later. I had no damage, but like his ground game, his wrestling, it's one of the toughest guy I fought, definitely.
Speaking about his ground game, when he grabs you, does it feel like something you never felt before, or is it just another guy grabbing you?
Yeah, no, he's pretty different. Like fighting in two divisions, of course, there is guys stronger than him. I felt guys stronger than him. Like Usman, stronger than him. Kobe, stronger than him. But for a lightweight, he was on the strongest guys I fought, definitely. And especially when I fought him. I came up with a different strategy. Like I was doing a vegan diet. I don't know why I decided to do that, and I lost so much strength on that fight as well. And yeah, a bunch of things that happened leading up to that fight. But definitely, man. But he was a beast. He was pretty strong.
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely is at least top five, one of the best grapplers of all time in the UFC. But
Definitely, definitely.
100%, the guy is insane. Dagestan is known for their wrestling.
Yeah.
But speaking about all these great fighters, are there any current great fighters that kind of remind you of yourself?
So I kind of reminded myself.
Like your fight style, the way you fight, and everything like that.
Oh man, I think like I nobody came up to my mind because these days I had a good ability of mix it up, having a good jiu-jitsu. If you look up my career, um, I never got submitted. And I think like even though I had a good striking, I had one on my record. I have one loss by submission for Clay Guida, but that was I didn't tap it because of the choke. I broke my jaw in the first round, and he got on top of me, put a shoulder on my face, and I had to tap because it wasn't like a choke, and but like that, I got a good, standing, and I'm always like trying to take people down and have it. I don't see like, especially having being a southpaw, nobody can come to my mind to be like. Usually, guys these days they like more striking. We don't see much takedowns attempts, and on top of my head, I can't think of anybody right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone, but I don't really think anyone comes to my mind. But for the striking part, great striking. Also Brazilian John Silva. What do you think about John Silva? He's amazing.
Jan Silva, yeah, like I watched his fight against Bryce Mitchell.
Hmm.
He's really good, man. He's a savage,
Yeah.
and I think like guys from his camp, they're killing.
Oh yeah,
We're
fighting
gonna
Irish.
have a Carlos Prates coming
Mhm.
up against Ian Gary,
Ian Gary.
right?
Ian Gary tomorrow. He's fighting tomorrow night.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe Carlos Prates has what it takes to become the first Brazilian welterweight champion.
Wow,
I
really?
believe he's on fire, man. That kid's tough as hell, and I think he got big chances. He's really tough.
So let's talk about fighting nerds. Why not? So all the fighting nerds, they're all undefeated, which is honestly insane. Out of all of them, do you still believe Carlos Prates is the most likely to become champion?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. For a reason, I think for maybe Caio Borralho as well. But we have like he got I believe tougher guys on his division.
Mhm.
Comes like Shimaev. I think it's a tough fight for him. Um, and I think Jan Silva also has a big chances. He also have a big chance. But now Volkanovski is on the throne. But yeah, man, both all the division are stacked. But
Yeah.
like I feel like Carlos Prata has among all of them, and he got the bigger chance. And also like we have Mauricio Rufi too. That kid,
Oh, that kick
he's
was insane.
so he's so good. His strikes are beautiful. But we have Islam Makachev as a champion, so he got to be with his wrestling on point. But who knows, man? MMA is a crazy game.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Hamzat Chimaev, I personally believe, is the second or third best takedown artist in the UFC right now. How do you believe that Kyle versus Hamzat fight's going to go?
Yeah, like it's we see, man. Like we fought on the same show in Abu Dhabi, and I thought in my opinion, Hobbit Whitaker is one of the best guys.
Yeah.
Right? He's so technical. His fighting style is beautiful. He's very good everywhere. Like Io Romero couldn't take him down, man. The guy is legit. He's really good. Good striking, beautiful technique. I thought it would be a very hard fight, and Hamzat make it look easy. Went there, took him down and finished him. Like, just went through him. It's hard to Kyle stuff, but maybe I would say like, of course, I want the guy to win, but like I would say Hamza has more chances than him.
Yeah. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is I just don't know if Hamzat really has the endurance, though. Has he fought a? I don't believe he's fought a 5 round fight before, has he?
Yeah, I think no, not five, but he went 3 rounds with Gilbert at welterweight. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty tired at the end, but like it was at welterweight. Yeah, but we never know. Like, does Hamza gonna come to US to fight here, or this fight's gonna be somewhere else?
Yeah.
In Middle East or something. Fighting over there, he got a bigger chance to win, right? On his hometown, and that everything plays out when it comes to a title fight of that level, to a fight of that level. Fighting on your soil, near your crowds, better than you have to travel overseas to fight.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about you. This is the interview. It's about you. Let's talk. Let's get a little more personal. So let's talk about life outside the cage, outside of fighting. What has been really lighting you up lately? Business, family, hobbies. What's up?
Oh man, I pretty much enjoy my family. My life. It's I still got so much on me. I love training. I love fighting. I want to be involved with it, but right now I'm injured. Just like trying to do my best to get back fighting, competing again. And I enjoy a lot of my family. Like I love the outside. I love travel. With a trailer. I have a van, and recently we had a road trip to California. I'm leaving Austin, Texas. We went to California for 10, 12 days. I'm planning a trip for Colorado, Idaho, Montana this summer. So I love the outside. I love travel. That's what That's my hobby.
Yeah. Colorado's beautiful. I've been there numerous times. I would say I usually like to go there more during the summer. I like to kayak and stuff and go in the water.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that probably on this summer. Winter, I don't like much because I don't do snowboard. I don't do anything like that. But I like fresh water, waterfalls. I love it.
Yeah, I went also during winter, but I fractured my back, so I think I'm done. I think I'm done
Oh
doing
yeah,
it.
everybody know got hurt doing snowboard. That's why I never try.
Especially if you're a fighter, you need your body, and I wouldn't really put it at risk because that's how you make money, right?
I
I would
can't take that risk, man.
exactly. I would not want to do that.
Yeah,
But what's a typical day for you like?
man. I wake up. I take my kids to school and just hang out at home and do every day. Do my workout, my leg workouts, trying to get my knee back on point. Get kids from school. I teach my son class, jiu-jitsu class. In my garage, I have a whole setup in my garage. He brings some friends over. I teach them Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and yeah, man, very very simple. Very simple lifestyle. Nothing fancy, and just be with my family, give them attention, and because life's short, man. Everything goes so fast.
Mhm. I know. I see those shoulders, bro. Your shoulders are. I'm gonna need that shoulder workout, man.
Getting there, man.
All right. So you lived in Brazil and you lived in the U.S. How have those two cultures helped you share who you are today, inside and outside the cage?
Yeah, like I think it was important for me and for my family as well. During the pandemic, we went back to Brazil. I went back to Brazil with my family. Pandemic was stuck in California. I moved out, went back to Brazil, was there for 3 years, and was the best thing I've did. Got my kids there. I told them life is not Orange County. That's a bubble. You
Mhm.
gotta know your culture. You gotta know where you came from, and and it helped me, man. It helped me so much and helped them so much, so we can see how much opportunity we have in the United States. I love this, I love the country, I love the culture, and you can, this place gives you so much opportunity. You can start delivering pizza, and you can dream one day of becoming the owner of the pizza company, right?
Yeah.
So this country gives you a lot of opportunities, and in Brazil, it's not like that. It's kind of harder. Have to work 10 times, 20 times harder to do something like that, and but yeah, man, it's good to know culture. I always travel to Europe too, and I take my family, and it's good to be, to know how people live and to get to know how people struggle, how people make their living. I think it's very important for you as a person.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing a series on my Instagram. I'm also a content creator of I ask different fighters for their nationality what foods I should try because I like to try new foods. What are some Brazilian foods I should try for my next video?
Man, you should go for you should go to churrascaria. It's a steakhouse. You
Steak.
know, Brazilian's a steakhouse. You pay like you go to the toppest steakhouse in Brazil. You're gonna pay around $50,
Yeah.
and it's all you can eat. You have all type of meat. You have a big buffet and seafood, everything for like less than $50, man. You gotta try that. Some farofa, some churrasco, some steak. That's rice and beans. That's typical Brazilian food.
I'm out of South Florida, so I bet there's a bunch of places like that. I'm gonna go try that 100%. But let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Let's talk about your legacy, man. Right now, are there still specific goals you're chasing, or is it just doing what you love?
Yeah, man. Like as of now, I just wanna, I'm on a tough spot right now. Coming from 3 losses, I never lost 3 fights in a row, especially coming off a big injury. But now I have a chance to turn things around, right? I still have 4 fights. I want to finish all of them, and it all depends on me. I have the chance, I have the opportunity to maybe win 3 or 4 fights in a row, and being a former champion, who knows where it's gonna take you. And right now, my goal is finish my fights and try to win all of them. And with that, I think new opportunities gonna present to myself, and I want to get to the UFC Hall of Fame with the fighter that has most octagon time. That's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm thinking I'm 9 hours and 8 hours and 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I have a lot of experience, and I want to be on the Hall of Fame for that, and for everything I've done for the company too. I have a great relationship with UFC, and I don't want to fight for any other organization. I just want to finish all my fights. I have opportunity, to finish on top, and that's my goal. And after that, who knows, man? I want to be involved with martial arts. Martial arts has given me a lot, and let's see what the future holds.
Yeah. Speaking about the future, after those 4 fights, say if you do retire, what do you want people to remember RDA as?
Yeah, man. Uh, uh, I fight anybody at any time. I never pick my opponents. I never went to, stylistically, let's fight this guy or that guy. Um, Maybe I'm too tough for my own good, but when I put my head on my pillow, I feel good. You know, I know I've done what it takes. So I was a world champion. I defend my belt. I beat the best guy on that night, best guy in the world. I did. I beat that guy. I didn't beat a top 10 contender to become a champion. I didn't beat a guy that wasn't even ranked to become a champion. I bought the number one. I beat the number one guy, and I defended my title against Donald Cerrone. He was coming off 12 or 13 wins, and I finished him, and I fought for another belt. So I want to be remembered for that, for all my history, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, 100. I think you already are remembered that. You have fought the best, definitely, 1,000,000%. There's no debate about it. You have fought the best, pound for pound, number one, and you beat him as well. So definitely a thing you could say. And talking about when the gloves come off, could we see after your career? Could we see you become a coach, or what would you become?
Yeah, I want to be involved. Maybe open my place and start helping people get the best out of themselves. Not that people gonna become fighters, professional fighters, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, martial art has given me so much. I see people like walking into the gym like they are shy, they have no confidence, and they don't trust on themselves. After 2 3 months, you look to that person and he's a completely different person. It gives you confidence and give you man, it gives you life. Martial art has given me so much. I want to pass it through, maybe open a place and helping people, teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu, gentle art, get people involved, get people I want to sell health. I don't want to open a bar and get people into drinking. I want to open something that I can change people's life for good.
Yeah. Was that a shot at Conor McGregor right there? Because
No, 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 I
he
didn't
did.
even
He
think
did open the
about
bar.
maybe, but I want people to get fit. I want people to have a good life. I don't want to sell them cheap
Proper
whiskey.
12.
I don't want to sell them a crappy proper travel whiskey.
Yeah, 100%. I would definitely want to better people. No proper 12 around here. No proper 12.
No
Maybe
way, man.
maybe
That
open a
thing's crap.
Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, I also don't want people to get fat. Maybe a coffee shop. I love coffee. I'm a coffee lover. That would be something nice. Some acai, sell some acai. You should try acai. Have you tried
I,
good
I
Brazilian
love
acai? You
acai,
gotta
dude.
try.
Love it. It's amazing.
You gotta try it. Like straight from Rio.
Once I save up a couple bucks, I'm graduating this year from high school. Maybe this summer I'll go to Brazil.
Right on, right on. I invite you to stay in my place.
Oh, at Brazil?
Yeah, at Rio.
That'd be amazing, man.
Copacabana Beach. You should come.
Could I train with you there too?
Oh, of course, man. Let's go to Nova União, get some training. Some training. You meet Jose Aldo, meet all of those guys.
That would be more than a pleasure. I'll give you my Instagram after this. We'll connect.
Right on.
All right. If you could sit down with the 18-year-old version of yourself, what's one thing you'd like to tell him?
Oh, man. Nobody told me that, but, just I think I was pretty much self-taught when I was 18. I always have I should have, be more professional on your early days. I think I was enjoying life too much. I like to go party, I like to drink. In Brazil, we can go out and drink with 14, 15 years old, back on the days. And I wish I could be more professional on my early days, taking more serious than I was taking my life. Even on my early days with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I should have taken more serious, being more professional. And I didn't. I wait a little longer to do that, to become more professional. I should have been more professional early.
Yeah. Well, talking about the partying and stuff, I mean, you definitely have the longevity. You're still fighting while most of the fighters you've fought are already retired.
Yeah, man. I take care of myself. I'm always training, always trying to do something for my health. I invest on my career. I pick like good supplements. I eat good food, and man, I'm just thinking about I invest on myself,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about take care of my body 24/7. Like once I go out of my diet, next day I go back. And I'm always training as well. I never let my body goes to zero. I'm always doing something.
Yeah. So you talk about like eating healthy foods and stuff. What's the number one healthy food people out there should eat just to stay in shape?
Ah man, pick the white meat. Like chicken, fish, and more salads, and not much. Be away from the sugars and sodas and chips. And that's a big, that's a big change. Like if
Yeah.
you get away from sugar, from breads, from candies, soda, chips, you're already ahead of the
Yeah.
game.
100%. I definitely agree with you. I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna get in better shape soon. I'm starting to do cardio with Pantoja. I'm like,
Nice, right on. He's a
he's
beast.
nice. And then
Yeah, yeah.
also he's a newer fighter. Do you know who Jordan Santos is?
No, no. I gotta say,
Newer.
I'm terrible with names. But
Okay,
if I
yeah.
see a
He's
picture,
he's
I
a,
might
he's a
know.
newer guy. I'm friends with him. He's very cool, nice guy.
Nice, nice, right on.
Yeah. And then finally, are there any messages you'd like to send to all your fans around the world who have been riding with you since day one?
Yeah, guys, thank you all for the support. Even though going through a tough time right now, but thank you all for the love, and I'll be back stronger. Thank you for always believe on me.
Oh, you cut out.
Sorry, man, my
No, you're good.
battery was
You're
gone.
back. Let me just
Didn't
re-ask
realize
you
we
the
were
last
talking for
question.
45 minutes already.
Yeah, last question. Last question. I'm sorry.
No problem. It went quick. I didn't even realize.
All right, last questions. Re-ask it. So finally, any messages you want to send to your fans all around the world who've been riding with you since day one?
Boy, guys, thank you for all the support. You guys are amazing, and it's been a long run, but I'm not. It's not done yet. Thank you for staying with me. It's been like I've been UFC since 2008. It's a long run, long career, but I'll be like almost 20 years on the company, and can't wait. Like I have these 4 more fights. Thank you for you guys for the love and for the support. And one thing I always say that my fans are really, I'm lucky. My fans are always people that come up to me, that ask for pictures. They are I can feel they my true fans, and they love my work. And I'm very happy with that when I see people like, good people, genuine people with good intention. They come up to me, hey, Radi, I love your career. Thank you for everything you've done. And I want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great time. Thank you. I really appreciate you.